So now since we successfully managed to solve the stack 0 problem, the challenge, now let's go and try to solve the next one and try to see, like, what is being put forward in front of us. So as usual, we'll try to just run the binary stack 1. Now once we run the binary, it says that we need to provide with an argument. So let's just some random argument, and it says like try again. You got some address, like in some hexadecimal address. Now let's go back and try to read the code, right? So we go back and try to read the code. So yeah, we have like the code as int argument. So it takes the argument. Again, the buffer size is 64, so we basically have to overflow it with the 65. Now it says that please specify an argument. So it takes an argument. It copies that particular argument to the buffer as well, and then finally it checks. Okay, so here is the tricky part, like it check whether the modified one has this particular value, right? And then if we have, we get a you have correctly got the variable, so again we call it a flag, right? But no, it's not exactly a flag in this particular case, but yeah, we have to print this particular line over here. Otherwise we are just getting try again, you got some random shit. So that's exactly what we were getting here over here. But anyway, so let's go back and try to see what is being printed here. Okay, so it's basically an hexadecimal. So I am using some random website called stringfunctions.com, and over here I'm just trying to convert this one into a hexadecimal, right? Okay, so here is it. It says like ABCD. Well, it was pretty much easy. Next thing that we have to understand is, while we are, so basically if we see the entire idea, so what we have to do is we just have to overflow the buffer with with 64. It fills the entire buffer, and whatever we enter afterwards, it has it goes along with that. So now what it basically does is it checks, it does the overflow, and then it copies the argument as well in the buffer. Okay, so basically you are concatenating them, and then finally they are checking whether the modified one has this particular string or not. Okay, so it's as much as it's pretty much simple. So what you do is like 64 A's, and then you add this particular string. Now we have to be very smart over here, because the Linux the x64 architecture that we have, this computer we have, it actually works on the little endian format. Okay, so basically you have two formats. This one is a little endian format and one is a big endian format. Now I won't go into a lot of details about what these formats are. It's pretty much we just go and search in the Google, and you can just get a lot of answers, or you can just refer to the to the resources, and over there you can have the little endian and the big endian resources as well. Okay, even if you are confused, feel free to ask the question in the forum as well. But over here in the little endian format, what we basically have to do is we have to just reverse the order. So we just don't write it ABCD, instead we write it DCBA. So that's the whole thing. While if it was a big endian, we would have it written in a way like ABCD as it is. Okay, so let's go back and try to execute them. Okay, so now remember, in the previous challenge what we did was we started with a Python code, which and concatenated with with the stack. But over here we cannot do that. We basically have to provide our the entire command as an input, as an argument basically, right? So what we do is we just create variable where we're just going to use the same thing, print a, again 64 times, and then we add this variable tcba, right? And then finally that's it. Oh, I forgot, like, oh shit. Okay, I guess like this is pretty much okay. And then yeah, now if I just run it, you can clearly see that you have correctly got the variable to the right value. So we basically got our so-called flag over here. So more or less this is how we solved it. So if you just want me to recap the entire process, is that we were given with a, you know, the C program, basically a binary, and when we saw the program, in the program the buffer size was 64, and this program was taking an argument. Okay, so with and then finally it was you know, checking up whether the memory address at the end is this particular address. Now what we did was we took this particular address and we tried to see what was, you know, this particular hex value, and we tried to convert this hex value into a string value. We got that, and finally we, you know, since again, not to forget, the entire my laptop is working in a little Indian format, so I just basically have to reverse the entire order. So I reverse the process, I reverse the order, and then finally create a exploit for that. So it's basically the exploit is like, you know, the stack one, that's the binary, and I'm just running this particular my command, this well crafted exploit, as an argument to the binary, and then I managed to solve it. So that's more or less what it is. Now let's go and, you know, try to solve the another Stack Overflow challenge. I hope you are pretty much enjoying the video so far. Just go and write in the forum or in the comment box wherever you are right now. Just go and write, and if you guys still have any problem regarding that, feel free to ask.